Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. This is Nasty Neal, and I'm joined by our first guest of the evening, Jack Hunter, creator of the Paranoia Tapes. It's very cool to have you here.
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm glad to be here. A fan of yours.
There you go. Cool. I appreciate that. I'm going to get a big head here.
No. We're all just normal.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been cool. It's been a while in the making to get you on, and it's worked out here. And so for people not aware, can you give them an idea of what the Paranoia Tapes are, what they're about?
All right. Paranoia Tapes is a found footage anthology film series where I get talented filmmakers from around the world to submit, found footage short. And I put them into a movie with a wraparound story. And each film just ties into itself. It's pretty self-explanatory with that. We got several filmmakers from around the world. Literally, in my second film, they're from overseas, and their shorts are in my film. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, the last few years, shorts have really gained in popularity, and I think for a few reasons. One, I think you could for festivals, you could play a lot of them. Money-wise, and also for things like this, where you could people can, get together, collaborate, put your stuff together, and make a feature movie with them.
Yeah. I mean, the shorts, like the thing is a lot of filmmakers, they do shorts and they put them on YouTube and everything else, and a lot of them don't gain traction like they're supposed to. So what I did was I found some of these shorts that, didn't have that many views, but I could tell the filmmaker wanted to do something with themselves. They wanted to get out there. So I said, I would message them and be like, hey, would you like to be a part of this anthology series? And usually it's either a yes or a flat out no sometimes. So, it's all good.
Yeah. But it's good because it gives them a home, like you said, because I always wondered about shorts after they have the festival run, if they're at a festival, they just kind of vanish, they, like you said, they're on YouTube or Vimeo, but, unless somehow they get some buzz and people share them and stuff, a lot of them just people don't, never see.
Right. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I know, like you said, a lot of people, once they do their festival run, the filmmaker will move on to the next thing, but never really have anything, that they can say, hey, this is where you can find it. So what I do is, like you said, I literally give these things a home where their art can be seen, around the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, why did you decide on the found footage?
Well, it all started back in 2012 and 2013 when me and my friend, we saw the movie VHS, and we were like, this is a really good movie, and it's done all independently and everything else like that, and we just really, really, really loved it. And it's been great. I'm sorry, I'm getting flustered. And also my food for what I just ordered is arriving right at this moment. It's still, I should have been here like an hour ago. But
that's how it always works out.
Of course, yes. And hold on real quick, Neil. How you doing?
No worries.
Yeah, it's all good here. Keep the change, brother.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
I got your $2 cup.
All right, thank you.
You have a good one.
You too, sir. All right, so we saw this movie, VHS, and we were like, we can do this. We could do this. We could do something like this. Get our filmmaker buddies together and, and put our brains together and make a movie or make shorts that terrify us. So we said, and that's exactly what we did with the first film. There were a lot of, continuity mistakes with my first film, the Paranoia Tapes. But I mean, it works out. You just gotta, you gotta work out the kinks and not make the same mistakes in the sequels. And that's what we did. We didn't make a mistake.
Yeah. So when did you decide to to make a sequel? Like, was it because of the feedback for the first one, or you enjoyed the process, or other people replied or were interested in having their shorts involved?
Wait, ask that question again. I'm sorry.
Well,
like when.
So you make the first movie. When did you decide to do a sequel?
Actually, I always wanted this to be like an anthology series. Mm-hmm. So when we finished, or when we were making the first one, I was just like, I was in my brain, I was setting up for future sequels. We actually went on a podcast when I flew to Vegas in, I think it was 2014 when we started filming, and we announced like there's going to be like 7 sequels to this film that we're working on, and I was really, and it just got the ball rolling with me because I love sequels, and I know a lot of people are like, they see a film and then they're like, oh, they made a sequel to that, but me, I personally love like the same characters coming back in one way or another, that relates back to the original film. And so just, I just like giving people what they like to see,
Yeah. Do you use do any of the same directors come back, or do you always like to use new director shorts?
For this one, what we did was, okay, how can I explain it better? Like, I want the same directors to come back, but sometimes they don't because either like funding on their side, or they just don't have time and they're doing other projects. It's pretty much, it sucks, but what I do have with the sequel, Douglas Palmintalo, I think that's how you say his last name. He has some shorts in this one, and what we're doing is we're getting some of his other found footage shorts and we're putting it in other sequels. Also, Stephen Damer's, the whole wraparound story with Paranoia Tapes 2, he has another film which is a sequel to the wraparound story that we used in part 2. So we're going to probably bring that one back for Paranoia Tapes 6. Mm-hmm. So I encourage the filmmakers that did stuff with us before to do it again.
Mm-hmm. So where when you did the first one, did you do festivals with it, or did you how was it released?
First it was released through the festivals. We did do the festival run. We won a couple awards, a couple nominations, and we just, once we did that, it took a long time, in all honesty, to find a distributor. So that's why we kind of ran the circuit for a little while. And honestly, sometimes it's really hard to get our found footage into a horror film festival because it's a very subsidized genre that people sometimes, they don't like that much. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of hard to get it in there. But after we did the festival run, we got distribution with a company out of New York called Shami Media Group. And they now are not the Godfather, but that's where the home of Paranoia Tapes is, with an exclusive contract, anything that has to do with Paranoia Tapes. So the good thing is how I can pitch it, and if there's any filmmakers listening right now, is if they're a part of the Paranoia Tapes, it automatically has worldwide distribution for the sequels, spin-offs, anything that we come up with. So it's like guaranteed that their work is going to get out there.
Yeah. So distribution. So is it DVD, Blu-ray, video on demand? How do people get it?
You can get the first 2 right now, physical copy on Amazon.com, and all 4 films, Paranoia Tapes 1 through 4 are on Amazon Prime. I don't think the 3 and 4 will be available until July and September. In September, they're releasing. If you want to buy them separate, that's good and all. But with 3 and 4, you can actually buy it one on one DVD. So you can buy Paranoia Tapes 1 and 2, and if you don't want to buy 2 separate DVDs, they have a deal on there that you can buy 3 and 4 on one DVD.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
It was actually taken by surprise with it. I didn't know it was happening until I searched it on on Amazon. So that was
right. Yeah. That's how you find out about your own movies. Wow. Right.
You would think I'd get an email like, "Hey, we're gonna do this double DVD thing for you, and I hope you're okay with it." But no, I literally searched myself, and I'm like Paranoia Tapes 3 and 4 on one movie. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And so I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that works. If it gets out there, then cool."
Yeah. So, how would you describe the festival scene? Because I have a lot of independent, filmmakers on the show, and some of them are big supporters of the film festival. Think they help independent filmmakers, and some people on the other side think they actually are a waste of money.
Well, okay, here it's a pro and con thing. It's like a catch-22 with me with those, because I run a film festival. It's called the Southern Psychos Horror Film Festival. It's actually currently online right now, online only. But I don't know. It just depends on where you want your film to go. I support them because I run a film festival, but you don't have to do film festivals, But sometimes I think it's a pro too, because if your film is good and it does really well, then the chances of you, getting distribution with it goes up, because they like to see the murals on the artwork and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you have a ton of murals for your film, then it's going to look good. It betters your odds. Then on other cases, some distribution companies don't want the film ever to be seen before they distribute it. So it's like a catch-22. I say do it, but then again, I say if you just gotta know what you're getting into when it comes to distribution, because sometimes distribution companies will try to manipulate you. So you got to get the best deal that you can possibly get. You just do your research. That's the best thing I can tell you for filmmakers who are listening. Do your research before you get. You put your stuff out there, because sometimes, it not being out there may better your chance for a distribution.
Yeah. So tell me about the online film festival, because that's very interesting.
Well, what we do is, every year I host, or actually a couple of times a year, I sometimes host a online film festival, and I give filmmakers a chance to get their films to be official selections, if they deem worthy enough, which usually most all do. And that's one thing I love about my film festival, is that, unless a film is complete, just dude, did you film this in 5 minutes and edit on Windows Movie Maker? Unless if it's like that, then I can't really make it an official selection. But mostly everybody that submits to my film becomes an automatic official selection, because when I was a filmmaker, or early filmmaker, I would have loved to submit my stuff to something and get an official selection nod, or just something like that. I mean, not everyone wins, but since it's online, I can do that. I can give them an official selection. So that's just the kindness and my nod to filmmakers to help them out. And whoever wins, say it's a feature film, whoever wins gets a guaranteed offer from Xiaomi Media Group to get their film, launched, online on Prime and everything else. And it requires no money from the filmmaker. It's just a contract that they sign. And then within usually 2-3 months, their film is on Amazon Prime, and then a release date for the DVD. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I've wondered, because I like to go to film festivals, but I've thought of doing a Without Your Head Film Festival online, but I don't know the ins and outs. But so it's interesting.
You know what, Neal? I could help you. I'd help judge it with you and be a co-founder or creator of it with you. It's very simple. It's very easy. Once we get off here, we can talk.
Yeah.
And it should. yeah, it's not as hard as people would think it is, because the only bad thing about it when you do online,
Hmm.
you have to do it's self promotion.
Right.
Films Freeway doesn't do it anymore where they promote it.
Hmm.
So unless you have a venue or something like that, they promote it like that. But other than that, it's very good. I mean, you have a good following with Without Your Head Radio and with the website.
Hmm.
So you should gain a lot of traction just because of your followers and fans. So
Yeah.
you'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and there's a lot of independent filmmakers on the show who listen to the show, so I think it would work out, and I would just have fun doing it. And I like
Oh
to,
yeah.
help people get their stuff out there so people can see it.
And one thing about it too is the people that submit. What I like about it is, you network with them, like you see the quality of their work firsthand. So if you like what they're doing, what I like to do is with certain, shorts I see, I'm like, hey, would you like to do a found footage short for this anthology? Along, with your film that's, doing well. Would you like to have it be a part of something?
Hmm.
And that I think that's the best part is meeting new filmmakers that I didn't know were out there and
Yeah.
networking with, because we have the same passion, we have the same type of it's just great.
Yeah,
It,
that's what I like about going to the film festivals. I just started doing the festivals last year, and everyone's really open to talk to each other. It could be the filmmakers, film fans, and not just like the director, but people who worked on whatever. And then people start to collaborate. It's just it's a good experience.
oh, definitely, yeah. When you walk around and you're literally mingling with people who have the same vision and drive as you do. I think that's the best part of independent film is the fact that we can all go to one place or go to one venue and literally put all political BS aside and everything else aside and just focus on what we love doing and talking about what we love doing. Because a lot of times people think filmmakers, are conceited or, really arrogant. But the thing is, we're just so proud with what we create that we want to get it out there. And other people in other, careers don't understand that. So being around everyone that's just like you is the most amazing feeling.
Hmm. So how did you get into filmmaking? Like when did you decide that was something you wanted to do?
I got into filmmaking when I was younger. Actually, it was like me and my best friends when we were teenagers. We did, what did we do? Sorry, I'm getting text messages.
All right.
What we would do. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, it says my order arrived. Thank
All
you for
right.
letting me know. 30 minutes. No, I realized I wanted to do this at a young age. I got my grandfather's video camera and I used my Star Wars action figures. Like I'm pretty sure we all did.
Uh-huh.
We make stop motion animation. Little movies, and then I got with my friends. Then we made a movie together. Just on the VHS. Oh my, it was just the whole editing process of that back then was insane. But we just started making our own little movies, and we got some notoriety from the parish or counties, as you guys call them, in our area. And we got a good name for ourselves. Like we would sell DVDs, literally like on the backseat of our cars, and people. When I would go to stores, they'd be like, "Oh, you're Jet from White Boy." It's cool to get that notoriety or that recognition, especially like people recognize that like 4 or 5 years after I did it, I went back to where I lived when I was in the Navy, and they're like, "Oh, you're that guy." Yeah, yeah, that's me. So that was really fun. And then I actually took it like professionally, like and serious, back in 2011, 2012, when I got out of the military and I moved to Las Vegas. I was an actor before a filmmaker,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah. Do you still do? Well, you're in some of the Paranoid Tapes. Do you still do a lot of acting?
I do. Well, I try to. Right now, I just moved into a new house, but I do acting in the Paranoia Tapes. I portray a character called Henry, and he's throughout the series. We also have another actor who took on the role because I had a lot of personal issues going on in my life. At the time, we were doing three and actually part four, so he took over that role, and he actually comes back in the newest incarnation of Paranoia Tapes. It's Paranoia Tapes 5 Rewind, written and directed by Jennifer Nangle. It stars Charles Chubadala. I forgot. I don't know how you say his last name. He's a great actor. Charles. I'm gonna go for. I think it's like Chubadala. I'm probably like obliterating it, but it stars him. It stars James Craig Miles and Michael O'Neill. Michael O'Neill is the actor that overtook the role of Henry through my dark time, should I say.
All right. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah. Everything was fine. I had to go. Oh, God. It just, last year was literally the worst year of my life. I had a lot of depression issues and stuff with PTSD, depression and anxiety stuff from the military. And I had to just get my life straight. And that's what I did. I went to, I got out of rehab in February or March, and I completed everything. I needed to get my life straight for myself and for my kids. Mm-hmm. So, I kind of took a break from the whole acting and getting into it. I mean, I still wrote stuff. I still did all that. But like being in front of the camera and portraying a character that kind of like coincided with my disability at the time, it just wasn't very healthy of me, being bipolar and stuff like that. So, but now I'm good. Like I got my, how can I say, I got my shit together, and I'm doing great. We're promoting, we're trying to get a series off the ground right now called Winter Haven. It stars Sierra Holmes. She was a contestant on Scream Queen's reality show on VH1 on season 2. Very sweet and beautiful woman that is just like, I don't know, every time I talk to her, it's nothing but smiles. And that's the type of people I like to work with. And that's when I knew I would love to work with her. So she signed on for that. And right now we're just, I've been meeting with investors and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row before we film before we start officially like promoting it like crazy. So, but it's really a good, it's a series in the vein of what Netflix is doing with slasher, the whodunit mystery and who's the killer. So we're hoping we can pitch it to Netflix and be a season of slasher. I mean, that's the goal. That's the game plan. I would love for that to happen. We got a great story, great writer along with me, Gregory Blair from LA. He's kicking ass. And he's already up to episode 2 on it, based off of it's based off of a script I wrote, award-winning script called Faceless, that I wrote back in 2012. But we're just taking the idea of what the script was and converting it to the series. It has really nothing to do with the original script. But I mean, I submitted it to a festival for the first time after I wrote it, and it won Best Screenplay. So that was pretty awesome and amazing. I'm really excited. Yeah. So
no, it's awesome. I just want to ask, it's like a serious question. Someone who suffers from PTSD, how does that work with being a horror fan? Because I think some people would listen and think maybe you wouldn't want to watch or make horror movies or see violent images.
All right. Well, the thing is, how I'll just explain it to everyone. I'm a military veteran. You probably already gathered that. But my PTSD comes from a lot of situations that I saw overseas, obviously, and being on high alert at all times, carrying a 9mm gun on me at all times, and looking at the next person beside me, not knowing if they want to kill me or not. So that has a lot to do with my stress and anxiety the PTSD is not horror, or how can I say, like, it was horror for me to go through what I went through, but this is a fantasy horror. You know, it's stuff where I can channel what I went through in the military and bring it to a script or into screen, to a screen in different ways. You know, I will probably never do, or I mean, don't quote me on this, but I'll probably never do or act in a war movie. I mean, the pay would have to be quite amazing, but I cannot do stuff like that. There's certain films I can't watch, like the movie The Kingdom starring Jamie Foxx, where he deals with stuff in Bahrain and Iran and all that. Like, I was there. You know, I see the bridges where people could stand over and have a rocket launcher aimed at you. Like, I can't watch that stuff because that stuff is too real. You know, I can't watch that stuff. I can't be a part of that. But when it comes to horror and fantasy, you know, it's where I channel my PTSD and I get creative with it, you know, and this month and next month are really hard months for me because of my 10 years ago, my best friend was murdered in the military, and we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary, and it's really hard for me. So I have to really get closer to my friends and closer to everyone that I possibly can, because you know, without the support of your friends and stuff, I wouldn't be able to get through it. You know, I've been looking at the glass half empty when the whole time it's been half full. So it's rough.
Yeah. Well, my condolences to your friend and all his loved ones.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, which Paranoia tapes are you working on now? And do you work on multiple ones at the same time?
Absolutely. Yes. And okay. And like, the reason, like, I stay creative is one reason to escape the reality of PTSD and depression. So my brain is always going, and that's how I like to get things done. Like, I was working on 3 and 4 at the same time. I actually did a part for 3 when I knew I shouldn't have done it because it brought on a lot of stuff. But I was working on 3 and 4, and I wrote Paranoia Tapes 5 Rewind when I wanted it to be Paranoia Tapes 2 Rewind. So, or the Paranoia Tapes 3 Rewind, because I had 2 that was finishing up, and I was writing a script for 3, but we ended up using the script for 5. So yeah, I am working on, like, I have enough footage right now to put out. Well, we're gonna finish up 5 this month or next month, hopefully, with Jennifer. She's doing an amazing job of getting stuff done. We're gonna hopefully have at least Paranoia Tape 8 by the end of the year done. So it's, you know, I have enough footage for that many films because people submit stuff to us. And then I got to come up with a whole nother story. You know, I just got to continue the story and keep the continuity good with everything. Because if you don't have continuity, people are just going to like, oh, they just made this shit just to put it out. You know, I don't want it to be like that. I want people to relate to the story and the characters they love from the first, second, and third films, or first and second films. I want them to be like, oh, okay, I remember what they did. You know, like, this is what they're doing now. You know, I don't want it to be like a whole new, like a whole nother plot. You know, I hate that with films where in sequels, where nothing in this film has to do with the prior one. I can't stand that when, like, different companies will see a film that's in relation or looks like the first one and then add a 2 on the original title, and it has nothing to do with the original film. You know, I can't stand that. I mean, I don't down other filmmakers, or not filmmakers, more or less distribution companies that do the same thing. I can't stand it.
So how do you keep a connection to these movies when they are made by other people in a anthology of short films?
Okay, what I do is I write narration parts for different characters like my character Henry, who is like pretty much the main villain from the first one. Um, he does these narrations throughout each film, and then in the fourth film we had Justin Bustle, who portrayed a character that was a fanatic of Henry. So what I did was I wrote I tied it in by having him be a fanatic of Henry and saying he want to be just like him. So he presents these different shorts in the film, and he talks about them to the audience, and he pretty much curses the audience out. It's quite hilarious. Like, why would someone talk to you like that? You know, but it's just it stays in the vein of the creepiness and the following of Henry. So, like, what I did, I think the only one that won't have this narration is Paranoia Tapes 5 Rewind, the one that Jennifer and Charles are doing, because I think 5, it's on beautiful masterpiece, because I wrote the I guess the wraparound story with it, and then Jen came, she put her twist on it, and everything else she made stuff make more sense. It's weird. Women can look at something and be like, that doesn't make sense, but this does. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're like, oh yeah, I wish I would have thought of that. Damn it. But she did great with the writing and the acting. It's the first one that won't have a narration. And there's surprises and twists in this one that I don't think the fans will see coming. And that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what has what has the fans' response been to the series?
Well, honestly, it's the most horrible one, but it's the best review that I got from the first one was, I watched this for free and I still think I paid too much. I think it's hilarious because, at the time when I first saw it, I was just like, this fucking sucks, man. Like, why? Right. I just want to quit. But the thing is, my friend Justin Hubbard, who is a producer on these, he said, Jack, regardless of what they said in the review, they watched the fucking film. They paid us. So it's kind of like a joke's on them. Like, I know they watched the whole film because it says verified purchase, and they write the review. But what they don't realize is they're marketing my film, because when someone writes that, what are you going to do? You're either going to be like, throw it away, be like, okay, I'm not watching this, or you're going to watch it to see if what his review was real. Like, did he really mean what he said? So it works both ways, and some of the people that are reviewing films, you go look at the other ones that they've reviewed, and you're like, all right, this dude just doesn't like independent film. Right. And that's it, because you see I don't know, like off the top of my head, but like other independent films, they're like knocking them for the acting and the cheesy gore and stuff. But then you go to one of their reviews on a Hollywood movie and it's amazing. It's obvious that this person does not like independent films. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. To each is his own, but you don't have to be a complete dick about it. Yeah. I think that's where the social justice warriors. That's what they are. They try to get they're so strong behind the keyboard, but I guarantee you they wouldn't say the same thing they're saying online to my face.
Yeah, there's a thing about being on the internet that people want to hate everything. And then also like attack people if they like anything, because I know on my wrestling page recently it was I really liked the AEW show, this recent new wrestling promotion, and then there are people like saying like, oh, if you like that, you're sucking their dick, and it's like, well, you can just like something without it being some weird fantasy of yours,
Right. Yeah, and that goes along with just like maturity. I think this generation that's coming up doesn't value what is here. Everything's given to them, and unfortunately for us filmmakers, if we voice our political opinions or anything else like that, people will just, they unfollow us and not support us just because of a political view. And because of that, I don't post anything political anymore because, it's a shame, but, whether or not you agree with someone who's in power, I believe it's just because I was in the military, you respect the rank. You don't have to like the person or his views. It's the person that's in charge of the country. And people be like, "Oh, you're a rightist or extreme, like, or racist." Like, no, what I'm saying, if you listen to me in the military, we are taught to respect the rank and not the man, because man is flawed, but they earned their position to where they are. And you do what they say, and then you ask questions later. That's what we're taught. And unfortunately, I can't even say that on social media because they'll be like, "Oh, then I start getting called names for stuff, for like, why I got blocked by oh God, who's her name? Christine McCarthy. She was in Child's Play 2 and 90210 and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I thought she was a pretty cool chick, and then she started calling people Trump cards and stuff like that. And I went in there. I was like, why do we have to call people names because of their political views? Why can't we just go and be normal and not it makes no sense for name bashing, name calling. Like they call people Trump tards, and then they get other people call them liberals and everything else. It's or extreme leftists. Why do we have to do that to each other? Like, why can't we just love each other and respect each other's opinions? In this case, and this is not feminist or anything, I think we should go back to the views of the 1950s, where there was things you didn't talk about them: God, religion, and politics. You didn't talk about a damn thing, and everybody had a great life then. Well, I mean,
right?
What I mean, like,
yeah, I know, yeah. I do try to keep those off the shows, just because I know, me personally, I don't like, even if it's someone I agree with, I generally don't like to hear it if I'm listening to something that's entertainment based.
Yeah.
If it's something different, if it's a show where it is about someone's political thought, then it's different. But if I'm listening to something where it's an interview with an actor, a wrestler, or something, I really don't. I just don't want to hear it, so I try to keep it off the podcast.
Yeah. Are you telling me that right now, or are you
no? I'm just pretty much agreeing with you. I just don't think people really want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And exactly. I also don't. Usually, if someone uses the phrase like libtard or conservative cunt or whatever, conservative cunt or something, I usually, and then it's just like I just zone out and don't pay really attention to what they're saying, because it's probably
You're right. And unfortunately, in this day and age in Hollywood, it really is your jobs that people are getting is based on your political view. Like, if I want to watch an awards show, I want to watch actors and movies get awarded. I don't want someone to just go up there like Robert De Niro and just say in the very beginning of a speech, "Fuck Trump." Like, bro, like, I'm trying to enjoy a show. I didn't want to get into politics. Like, people, we just, as entertainers and people in the business, independent film, whether Hollywood or indie, let's just make movies and stop worrying about stuff that is out of our control. And, I think people don't realize that. I think the whole country needs to say the Serenity Prayer. Yeah, it's just, I just think we're all flawed, and people, Anyway, I don't think it should be brought up in entertainment.
Yeah. So I want to bring this up because I'm a friend with Seb Godin, and I saw you were a producer on like K-Animator. Yes.
Me and Seb right now don't see eye to eye with certain things. Yeah,
well, I'm sorry to bring it up then. Yeah.
No, it's okay. The stuff we have to get through together. But I was a producer on it because Dustin approached me, Dustin Hubbard, who was in it, and I think he wrote it, if I'm not mistaken. He needed some artwork done for like Animator, and they didn't have a thing done. So what I did was I used my skills with apps on my phone and then on my computer. I was the one that made the original artwork for like Animator, and they appreciated it. They made me a producer of it. To be honest, I have yet to see like Animator. It's been like 3-4 years, and I have not seen a copy of it. So there's some stuff with the editing that they're dealing with. I get updated every now and then, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I know I just ordered a copy of Slimoid, their newest film that I support, and I really want to make like some puppets for them for the sequels. I know they're filming the sequel here soon, but I don't think I'm gonna have it much success until me and Seb watch whatever it is, and it has to do with stuff with political stuff.
I see.
So yeah, I think this whole political views or whatever, I think that is ruining a lot of friendships in the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm. Or just in general, I think.
Yeah. Sorry to bring it back to political things. But
no.
Like Animator, it's a good film. The script was amazing, and I can't wait to see the final product. I think that's what they're wanting to get out really soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Seb Ben. I like his stuff. He makes very slimy things, and I get a kick out of that.
Yeah, and they have one. I forgot what it's called, the Ouija house or something.
I think it's Ouija Mummy, and it's like a.
The Ouija Mummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that. I was quite impressed with it. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. But I have seen the poster, and I talked to him about it, but I haven't seen the movie yet.
I saw a copy of it. It was when all the effects weren't added in just right, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. I like what they do, and I wish I could be, more a part of it. And hopefully this podcast said, I'm sorry. Come on, man. Unblock me. Get me back. Come on, brother. So, yeah. Hopefully that's my tweet to Seb.
Right. So, well, what's your favorite part of the creative process? Writing, directing, producing, or does it all kind of come together?
The bread thing. I think I really enjoy everything. One thing that I do love about being a filmmaker is that we create something in our brains, and then we put it on paper. And to see that come to life right before your eyes while you're directing it is amazing, because they are somebody that was in your brain. They're an idea of something that you had. And I think that's the most amazing feeling ever, to see, even if they die, on film, you thought of that. It's almost like a God mode type of thing when you're like playing a video game. It's like, you have the power. So I think that's the most amazing part of it, is like, you create something and you make it, and people see what was in your brain. Because as filmmakers and creative people, a lot of people look at us like we're crazy, and they don't understand the things we say or the reason we do things the way we do. And with making movies, we can show them what goes on inside our brain.
Mm. Which, yeah. So there's a lot of weird stuff going around in your brain.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And one thing I've always said about people is that when you watch a scary movie, don't be afraid of the movie. The movie's just a movie. The creepy thing about what you got to realize is someone came up with it. Like the creators of Saw. I am never spending the night at their house. I don't care how much they I probably would, no, I'm not gonna. It's just crazy, like, because they come up with the sickest ways to kill people, and they had to think of this and see it in their brain before they did it. So that's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah. So what were some of the horror movies that got you into horror movies as a fan?
As a fan, the original. Well, not the original. When I saw it, it was in color. The remake of Night of the Living Dead. That was a big part in it. But my main one I really loved was Chucky, Child's Play, with Brad Dourif. Man, that dude. Sorry, I'm swallowing.
Sorry.
It was amazing. Wait, that's not something you say. I'm swallowing. Oh my god, no.
That ran through my mind, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, no. I make things awkward, unfortunately, sometimes. But no, to see like Chucky and Brad Dourif, him do the voice throughout all these years. Like I love that franchise, and that's the type of film that I really enjoyed as a kid. It's because of Jaws. I didn't want to go swimming in my damn in my pool in the backyard. It's a pool, but the fact that this film overtook me and I was afraid to get into the water in my pool, that's when the film did their job. And that's what I try to create. That's what I try to create with my films, or at least as much as possible. Because if what you see on a film affects you in real life, then the film did its job. Mm-hmm. And that's what like Chucky did. Like I had a My Buddy doll that I used to have when I was a kid, and that thing flew into the toy box and never saw the light of day again. But I actually recently bought a new one. Well, not a new one, but it's from 1985 or 84 when I was younger. But like it's films like those that I really enjoy. Night of the Living Dead, Child's Play, Jaws. I think the first, from what I remember, sneaking around my parents' like recliner or something, and I was watching the first Day of the Dead. I think it was on TV or they had rented it at the time back in the 80s. And I remember seeing that zombie, that everyone relates to with the former soldier that was and
Bub.
It's just, Bub. Yeah, so stuff like that. Those are the types of films that influenced me. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Scream and whodunit mysteries, which there's a lot of those in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Those are key to why I love horror. Also, like I guess the new age of horror, I would say, because the whodunit mystery, who's the killer behind the mask. I love a good mystery, and I guess that's why I created Faceless, and in the vein of Scream, Urban Legend, and all those other films like that.
Mm-hmm. So where can people follow you and Paranoia Tapes online to see what's in the works?
Well, you could follow my fan page, Jack Hunter fan page. I think it's on Facebook. You could find Paranoia Tapes, every sequel and original film on Facebook. We have pages for each of those movies. Also, Southern Psychos Productions on Instagram. We don't really do much tweeting. I think a lot of the tweeting is political, so I don't really get involved with that stuff. But we do manage our Instagram and our Facebook pages. And like I said, we do have the Southern Psychos Horror Film Festival that's out, and there's a discount where you can get 50% off your entries. I think it's SSP50 2019. So you use that code, and like if the submission is something like $60, which it's not, it'll be half off, going to 30. So you can use that, everyone.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on. We got another guest coming up here, but I'm sure we'll have you back on in the future. You could call at any time as well, but it's very cool to have you here. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's been a pleasure, brother.
Yeah. And now you can enjoy whatever it is you ordered. By the way, what did you order? I'm sure everyone's been dying to know.
It's my first night in the house. I ordered pizza.
All right.
It's off my diet, but you
have to have a cheat. You have to have a cheat night.
Yes, you do. Uh-huh. But Neal, it was a privilege and an honor to be on your show, man. Thank you so much.
Very cool. I appreciate it. Thanks, and we'll talk again.
Definitely. Have a good one, brother.
You too. Bye.
Later.